my name is India. I use she, they pronouns. I'm in another vlog that ended with me hoping to finish, sorry, that's the kettle. Hoping to finish Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. I did not succeed with that. I was like, oh, I can read all of this in one night, and I decided to do other things. So my order of business is to make myself tea because it's pretty cold. I need to fill out my ballot so I can drop that off tomorrow. And then I'm going to read a lot of Wild Beauty, and then later tonight I'm going to yoga. So yeah, that's that. Today was a pretty solid day at work. I really enjoyed it. Did I run the dishwasher? No, I didn't. I meant to do that. I need to do it now, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so this morning I finished reading Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore, and I think that this is one of my favorite books I've read this year. This follows two perspectives. Estrella, who is one of the No Me Olvides girls, which is the current generation of women in this family that seem to be cursed to like have everyone they fall in love with disappear, but also gifted with this ability to just grow flowers from their hands, or like in the dirt from their hands, like at will. So we get her perspective, and then Fel, who is a boy who just appears in this garden that this family lives in. So the setting is super lush. We have this beautiful garden with all of these flowers that each generation of women has planted and cultivated. But we also have this thing that's happening where the wealthy, like, landowners, so the family that owns the land itself, is like coming, like there's some conflict that's happening where someone is coming in after the death of the kind of like main person who was running it, and is trying to change things and exert their power over the land. This book like thematically covers a lot of discussions about land and relationship to the land, and what earth holds, like memory wise, and how it might act in a certain way according to what it holds, what it remembers. Family is really important. This idea of loving people, like this idea of loving people to death, which we see in this curse that they have, but also loving people so much that it's almost like they're not their own person, so they don't exist even if they haven't vanished. There's some beautiful imagery. I could definitely see someone critiquing this and saying it's overwritten or like that it overplays the flower imagery and the flower metaphors, and overplays some of the language that the author uses, but I found it fantastic. And it was just what I wanted. Like, the landscape was really lush, the writing was really lush without being like too long. The sentences and like the chapters and the paragraphs and the sentences all felt like they weren't dragging. So I really liked the way that this was written, and I'm definitely going to be reading more of this author's works. I love how just like all ma'am, Eleanor, it doesn't make yet. I love I mean, the opening chapter is really beautiful, and it's just these cousins who are talking about and thinking about and reacting to how much they love this girl. And so the discussion about bisexuality is like, I felt really was quite sweet. And yeah, I just loved it a lot. And think that it has a lot to offer. It was just so good. So yeah, I finished reading that, and you will have seen that I started The Melancholy of Anatomy, and I really liked the start of that. It opens with a kind of preface that like before the stories start, and I've just started the first story, which is called Egg or Embryo or something. My room is kind of sort of a mess, and this is a questionable angle, but I just wanted to show you, update you on some things. So first, let me update you on some things that I've acquired today, and then I will talk to you about the books that I've been reading. So I went to 2 thrift stores today, mostly because I'm in search of more plates. My birthday is coming up, and for my birthday I'm gonna have a lot of people over, and so I just need a couple more plates for feeding them on. So I found these. They're like blue, you can't really see it in this light, but they're blue like stoneware plates, and then this one is similar but has a flower on it, and I thought these were pretty. And at that same thrift store, I picked up The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, which is about a man who has a stroke and it like comes to consciousness inside of himself, but isn't able to move any part of his body. So like it's about him figuring out how to communicate with this nurse. He writes this story. He like tells this to the nurse and then died shortly after finishing this. So this is a piece of nonfiction, and I don't know if it's about the his experience being like locked inside of himself or what, but yeah, I got the cat. I went to Target because I have a new phone, so I just needed to get a phone case or like a screen protector for it, and then I got a tank top. Then another thrift store, wasn't successful. I was looking for more plates and wasn't successful, but I did find this, which I really like. It's a long sleeve turtleneck bodysuit that's like dark and has flowers on it, but I think that this would be nice to wear underneath like overalls or sweaters. I mean, I'm always wearing turtlenecks under sweaters. It is that season. And then I found some yarn. So these are 2 bags. Again, you can't see these very well. It's 5:30 and pitch black outside. But this is some Hobby Diablo mohair. And I have yellow of it. So I saw these and I was like, oh, like these are kind of fun. These like are kind of a fun combination. And then I think if I added the yellow into it, it would also be fun. And while I was there, I also got these mostly for this white so that I could pair the mohair with the white and make something. I don't want to make a scarf, but I keep thinking about making a scarf. But yeah, this is just some acrylic yarn. And I probably won't end up using this. I'm most likely going to give it to my school's knitting club to use, but I really wanted the white so that I could make a little something. Again, I don't know what, like maybe a vest, maybe a fun like sweater vest. Yeah. And then the most exciting thing, the thing that really like sold it for me, and that I was like, yes, it is good that I came to the thrift store and did what I did, is this. And this is just how boring I am. I picked this up for work because someone who does my job at another school has one of these, and someone who does a similar job to me has one of these. And this is just I don't even know how to describe it, but like you put documents or things in these sleeves, things that you like use or reference really frequently, and like can flip back and forth between them easily. So part of my job is I do a lot of scheduling, and I have to look at a lot of different like files or documents, some of which I can have out and printed, others like I have to see on my computer. But I was really excited to find this for like $5. So that's exciting. Oh yeah, you can see me much better here. I don't know. So let's talk about this first because I started it first. This is a short story collection about the grotesque body, and it's really giving me that. I've only read the first 2 stories, Egg and Sperm, both of which are like kind of follow a similar premise of like, what if these things existed outside of the body and were much, much larger than they ever could be? So in the Egg story, we have our main character, Imogen, who wakes up and has like this like weird like spot on her eye, and she like digs it out of her eyelid and puts it in the trash, and it just starts growing, and it's an egg. And it's about like her relationship with this egg and all this stuff, and like things keep changing. And it's very strange. Like it had this like intermission with a description of these short films called Bad Egg and Good Egg. And I'm sure it had some meaning about like, I don't want to say like fertility or anything, but about eggs. And then the sperm story starts with like, oh, like we don't remember anymore what it was like when we couldn't see sperm with our own eyes, and just talks about sperm, talks about like eating sperm, talks about people like taking the brain out of sperm. These stories are moderately stressful and just weird, and I'm not liking them very much so far, which is kind of sad because I want to like them. And I think that maybe, what is my cat doing? She's gonna fall. Eleanor. Anyway, maybe I will like some of the other ones. So right now we're in the choleric section. Maybe the melancholic section I'll like more. But also, maybe not. Maybe I won't like any of these. I am finding them interesting, but I don't really like them. And that's okay. I'm going to keep reading them in hopes that maybe there's like one or two that I enjoy. But that's where I'm at. The Book of Delights, I also started, and it's just really good. I'm finding that reading these is helping me adjust or like readjust my perspective on everything, just in the sense of I am very much someone who takes a lot of delight in small things. Some of my favorite moments in the day are if I see like a little spider or like a bug or like something small happens. And so the premise of this book is just that Rasgay decided for a year he would write an essay every day on something that delighted him, to cultivate a practice of delight, to engage in this thing of finding more delight in the world, cultivating more delight by appreciating the delights that he sees. And it's just really good. I'm finding it to be like, reading this feels like an act of compassion towards humanity, or like an act of compassion towards myself, but also an act of compassion towards humanity. And I think writing this feels like a really interesting balance of inward and outward motivated noticings, or like motivated writing. So I'm really enjoying this. So I have been working on a scarf. I've been knitting a scarf for my grandma. And what is it? It's like midway through November. So I have about a month to get it finished by. And I just finished this second color block. So I'm making my mom and my grandma the same scarf patterns, but with different colorways. So my mom's starts off like this and then just keeps going with a gray gradient, so it gets a darker gray. But I'm really excited because this one is going to go into a like purple and then indigo gradient. So yeah, I'm pumped. This is all in seed stitch, which is definitely a lot slower. Like, this is a big scarf. The one I made my mom is really more like a shawl or like a wrap. So yeah, it takes a while, but I am going to wind up my purple yarn. I'm using Drops Lima for this one, and I used Drops Puna for my mom's. But yeah, each one of these is 2 skeins worth, and I taught myself how to like spit splice them together, and it's been holding up really well. That's something that I was worried about, is like whether it would hold up or not, and it has been so far. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. This is just like a very like squishy, cozy project, and I think my grandma is gonna like it. It's so squishy. It's so nice. But yeah. Before I do that, let me update you on books. So let's talk about The Melancholy of Anatomy. I just finished the first section, so I have the melancholic section next to go, and the last I checked in, I wasn't a big fan, and I've only read one more story, and I liked it a little bit more than the other ones, but it seemed like all of these first stories were about taking like imagining an internal thing outside of the body, and I'm finding that maybe I'm just more interested in exploring the body from a perspective of going in, but the author is like setting up these stories of like, oh, like what if the egg and the sperm and the fetus, which are the 3 stories of that section, what if these are things that exist outside of the body and are very large, and like what would our relationship to it be? And I'm just not super interested. I did find the fetus one more interesting, and I think has the potential to be read in a very like thoughtful manner, of like figuring out themes of what it means, like something about the fetus replacing religious leaders and stuff, like what's the role of a fetus, and definitely in the context of like how do we define life, and contexts about conversations around abortion and whatnot. But yeah, this is one that I am like feeling myself not want to pick up, even though I do hope that the next sections have something different. But if the story collection continues in a vein of like, oh, like what if this thing that's inside the body is happening outside of the body, I don't think I'm gonna like this very much, which is a little disappointing. Cold Comfort Farm is a delight. I realized I stopped midway through a chapter, which I should amend, but this is about Flora. Her parents die, and she's like, I don't want to learn how to work. I'm just gonna reach out to all my relatives and see which ones I can be a parasite to. She does, at one point, there is a line where it's like, I've started my career in being a parasite or something. But it's very funny. Right now it's describing Cold Comfort Farm, which is where she's headed. And it's taking on the voice of like gothic texts that are describing isolated like country towns. So like overly dramatic, everything is extreme, it's kind of ridiculous. So this is fun, but it is something that I'm finding is like, if I'm not in a mindset to be engaged, I move through it a lot slower. And the Book of Delights is fantastic. I have no complaints. This is great. It's making me like it just feels warming. It feels warming and exciting, and I'm liking it a lot. My sweet, sweet cat, the unrivaled love of my life, decided to wake me up at 4 in the morning for no apparent reason, and then continue to be a menace that entire time. So it's now 7:30. I need to leave for work in like 20 minutes. I don't want to, but I'm going to anyway. On the exciting side,
on the exciting side of things, my hold for the audiobook of The Grass Always Grows, about Indigenous environmental activism and environmental justice, came in. So I now have an audiobook to listen to while I'm knitting for this readathon, which is exciting. Normally when I'm knitting, I watch YouTube videos, a lot of knitting YouTube videos and a lot of reading vlogs. That's kind of just my cup of tea. But yeah, so I'll probably start that sometime this week. I may try to finish one of my other 3 books before then, just so that I'm not reading 4 books at a time. So yeah, I'm eating a little gluten-free, like, strawberry toaster pastry. That is also joyful. Not going to be finishing The Melancholy of Anatomy by Shelley Jackson. I read one that I like to fill you in on what I've been thinking about this. All of these stories talk about bodies or body parts or things as if they were outside of the body and like large, and seems very like metaphorical and everything, and I'm just not enjoying it. Like, I realize I've been reading it in hopes that I get to a part that I enjoy. I did enjoy the nerve section, like that was kind of interesting. But I was reading this, the dildo section, and I was like, I don't want to keep reading this, and I've really been pushing myself to read this, so I'm like halfway through, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna DNF it. So, that means I would like to finish, Cold Comfort Farm, and what else am I reading? The Book of Delights, both of which I'm really enjoying. So yeah, I was going to be like, oh, I want to read a book a day. Maybe I can. Maybe I can finish Cold Comfort Farm tonight. I would need to be like really on it, but that's okay. I can do that. So once I finish one of those, I'm gonna start listening to As Long as Grass Grows, because I have the audiobook now, and that'll be good to listen to while I knit. So that is my update. This week, I have this week off because it is Thanksgiving in the US, and like, I am not included in the group of people at my school who need to do like additional work and training this week. So hopefully that means I will have more time to read. It is snowing outside, and I love it so much. I love the snow. I love when it's snowing. I love snow. So I like when it's cold. I have this ridiculous scarf shawl. It's not ridiculous. It's very cozy and like seasonally appropriate and weatherly appropriate. I'm drinking a tea that's called Peachy Keen. Last year, my mom gave me an advent calendar for my birthday. That was a tea advent calendar. And it was one of the most exciting things ever. I filmed a little like Instagram story every day of what tea I was drinking, and it had little quotes, and so I shared the quotes, and it was adorable, I think. And also, like, a lot of my friends were like, that's cute and the most you thing. So my mom gave me another advent calendar. It came a little late, so I got to drink 2 this morning. I drank a Star Anise, I don't know, black tea that was delicious, and I think my favorite so far. And this is just an herbal tea. It's hibiscus with notes of peach, and so I'm drinking it because it's cold outside and it's snowing. I love the snow. Eleanor's little, I don't know. I started setting up my Christmas tree. I got a Christmas tree. My boyfriend convinced me to get a Christmas tree, and so I have one. I need to get more lights because one of the strands that I got was half dead, and so I probably need at least 2 more strands. But I'm really excited about my Christmas tree. I want to make little like orange, like baked dried orange garlands, maybe crochet some other garlands to put on the tree. I don't have any ornaments. I don't really care about that. I mean, I have 2 ornaments because one of my neighbors was getting rid of some stuff and left a box of things. So I have these cute little, like, Christmas elves that are just in a band. And one of them is drinking stuff. I am knitting a scarf for my grandma, and I'm really almost done. I only have one more. I'm almost done with this ball of yarn, and then I just have one more ball, and then I'll be completely done, which is really relieving. I started knitting Christmas gifts in August, and I finished the scarf for my mom, which is kind of the same pattern. It's a free pattern from Pearl Soho. It's just a seed stitch scarf with some color blocking. I'm almost done with my grandma's. And those are the only two family Christmas gifts I'm knitting. One of my coworkers reached out to me with a letter that her toddler wrote to Santa that said, "Hi, I would like a sweater with elephant pockets." And she was like, "I don't know if you, or my coworker said, I don't know if you take commissions and if you can do this, but do you want to knit my daughter a sweater?" And one of the main factors of me saying yes was, oh my gosh, I get to be Santa. I get to be Santa's elf. I get to make this child a sweater. So I'm gonna pick up the yarn for that today and knit the pockets as my gauge swatch. My plan is to make the pockets and find a chart for an elephant and just duplicate stitch the elephant onto the pockets. So it's two little pockets with elephants. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to do that after I go to work. This weekend I have been working front of house for a show. And so I have a matinee that I need to go work, and then I'll go get some yarn. I'm very excited about that. My priority has been knitting, which I think is okay, but I realized I'm mentally not done with the Bloomin' Readathon. So I'm gonna keep trying to fill out my bingo chart and keep trying to read the books. So it's gonna continue on through December for me because I feel like I need it, and I just feel that way. Yeah, as far as reading is concerned, I am halfway through the Book of Delights, and this is a really soothing read for me. It I think pairs well in my life as like a cup of tea does. Like I always have my morning cup of tea, and I feel like whenever I need something that is akin to that gives me the same appreciation for life, I reach for this. I also started Babel because it was on my TBR, and also because one of my best friends who doesn't read fiction very often said it was one of the best books that they read this year. And so I was like, I trust Sally. Sally is amazing. I'm gonna read this, and they like wouldn't stop talking about it. So I'm reading Babel, or I started Babel. I'm one chapter in. I also posted a cute little Instagram reel because I was dressed in a very like dark academia outfit, and I was like, oh, you know what I should start? Babel. So if you want to see that, it's on my Instagram. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm just snuggling with Eleanor until I need to leave. I'm watching Allie's reading vlog, her like 24-hour reading vlog, and it's making me feel very content and reminding me that I do want to read books, and I don't need to push myself to do that. I can just continue to remind myself I do want to read books, and when the time comes that I can do that, I will do it. I have plenty of things. So,
scratch my plans. The show that I was going to work for has been canceled, but I do still need to go over to the theater in order to like put a sign up that say it's been canceled. I'm also going to do some like housekeeping stuff in terms of like vacuuming the house and making sure everything looks nice so that next weekend it can start on a pretty clean slate. But yeah, I'm wearing these overalls that I wish I liked. I've kind of been going through this thing where I'm like trying on clothes that I've held on to because I like them, but something about them just doesn't feel right. And for me, the thing is like they just sit weird in my like with my torso because they come up here and then just go in. So I'm thinking about maybe like finding a way to move the buttons so that they fit better. But yeah, I'm gonna go do that, get my yarn, maybe get some hot chocolate because it's snowing and I love it so much. You can see it in the window, as well as the old happy birthday stuff. I had a pretty draining day today. It was pretty nice, but then for some reason I went to the mall, which was way too much. I did find this cute shop that had like cute stickers and stuff, and I thought it was adorable, but it was overall kind of a lot. And I also went to a thrift store and got a gift that's part of like a secret Santa, secret snowman that we're doing at work. And then also a sweater I'm gonna unravel to use to make a little fun multicolored vest. But right now I've been working on this sweater, which looks kind of funky right now because I have to rip back. I'm feeling pretty discouraged about this sweater. I knit it up initially and got kind of a little bit farther from where I am now. And I'm making it for a coworker of mine and for her daughter. And I showed it to her and she's like, it's a little bit small, I'm kind of concerned. And I was like, that's fine, I'll start it over again. So I started it over. The neckline is definitely a lot bigger, which I think is good. But I got concerned about the number of stitches on the body and the arms, and I think I just need to keep going and make the yoke longer, because somehow the chest circumference was smaller than, or like was the same as the initial sweater, so I need to rip back, and I don't want to. So I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and wind this up, back up to the ball that it was in. I know I was like getting really excited because I was almost at the end of the ball, which would mean I had knitted as much as I initially had, but now I need to rewind it, which is fine. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pick back until I'm at the raglan increases, and then I'm gonna take a break and maybe do some journaling or some very light tidying up, as in like putting some pens in cups, tidying up. Hello, I just got back from work. It is Sunday, so we had a show. right now is Operation Cozy. I'm gonna pull, I mean you can't see, but I'm gonna pull my couch out and make it like a comfy, cozy cloud with all of my blankets. I'm gonna get my weighted blanket, light a bunch of candles, make some tea, and just knit and read for the rest of the day. I've been doing a poor job of making sure that my weekends are introvert friendly and like help me prepare for a week of school. So I've been trying to do that more this weekend by prioritizing rest, prioritizing watching things that I like, and doing things that I like, which is reading and knitting. So I'm gonna do a quick tidy, get like all of the stuff that doesn't need to be in here out, so that I can just be really cozy, and that is my plan. This is maybe the coziest thing ever. I have two candles over here. One is a salt candle, and this is like a candlestick and a candlestick holder. And I've got one over here. Oh my gosh, this is a dinosaur that has a like rice heating pack insert, and it's very cozy. I feel fantastic. I'm gonna put on either like a fireplace on my TV or a YouTube video and just knit away. Yeah, and I'm gonna put like my shawl on. It's gonna be great. See my phone. There's no way to avoid this. There's that, but then you see how dirty that background is. Hello, good morning. It is my first day of winter break, which is so exciting. Again, if you know teachers, if you know educators, you know this year has been rough. But I think I need to do some things and not just stay in my bed all day. I did wake up at like 3 in the morning, for no apparent reason other than curious mental health questions. I have a gift card to Barnes & Noble, so I think I'm gonna just go get myself a book. We did like Secret Snowman at my workplace, and my snowman is like an English teacher I work with, and so she got me a gift card, so I think I'm gonna get myself a book. I want to go to your yarn store because I think I have it in me to try to knit my grandpa a pair of mittens. He's the only person in my immediate family who I don't have a present for yet. Usually I get him a book, but I think he would really enjoy a pair of like rustic mittens. So
I'm gonna pick up some yarn for that. I'm almost done with my scarf for my grandma, and I need to finish a sweater that I've made for one of my coworkers' children. And overall, I'd like to take it slow and do some like nice things for myself that involve me leaving my bed. Yeah. Also just the sun. Oh my gosh. It's sunny. Okay, so I wanted to show you some of the things that my Secret Santa, my Secret Snowman got, or even Eleanor, hey! Just some of the like Christmas decorations I have. So here's my Christmas tree. I don't have any ornaments. So on my tree I have lights, and then I have these little bells that I found at the thrift store, and then I have these two, or I have already shown these two ornaments that have like Christmas elves playing instruments on them. So this is from my supervisors. They gave us each a beautiful ornament. So it's like, oh, let me hold it in the sun. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And blue, and just has like, you know, snowflakes on it. So like, I'm not gonna put all of these up as I show them to you because I realize that will take a lot of time. This is something I got from Target. It's a little gingerbread garland, so I'm gonna hang that up in replacement of my happy birthday garland because it's no longer my birthday. I have some fidgets in here. This adorable ornament that's just a Christmas tree, and my ma'am, she's trying to eat the Christmas tree. The English teacher who gave me these gifts is a really talented artist, and so she like painted this. It's so pretty. And then she made me these tomta. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're so cute and just like adorable little guys. Eleanor. And then this day, she like gave me these purple ornaments, and purple is my favorite color. So I have a sweet little star. What am I even doing? And a little like glittery purple bauble. And I'm so happy. Like, so I'm gonna put these on my Christmas tree, and then I am gonna go see if I can find a Barnes & Noble. I don't want to go to one that's in a mall, because I don't.